Welcome to another of Lucent's tutorials. With the support item rework, we've been seeing a lot more people calling support in games. They think it's cool or whatever, and supporting is becoming something of a lost art. But with these new support changes, something else happened. Leona has become viable again. Woo! Now let me just say, I've always been a fan of Leona support, but now the pros and challengers are starting to get in on it too. Let's start with some pros. She has a targeted stun and an AoE stun. Her natural tank can absorb a lot of hits early and late game. She can jump in easily on fights. She's very good for engaging, and she's good for getting early lane kills. However, an ADC with cleanse will take away most of the fun. She doesn't really have a good disengage either. Poke lanes can be a problem since she needs to be close and doesn't really have a heal. Landing most of her skills requires, well, skill, and good communication may be required between you, your ADC, and your jungler. Now I'm going to assume you already know the basics of supporting, so you already know that support makes the lane. Playing Leona support can be a bit tough to get used to, especially if you like to be passive. Aggressive Leonas can dominate lanes. Passive Leonas just kind of... yeah, so don't. Let me rephrase aggressive to brave. If you haven't played her before, just know you can tank a lot more than you think you can. Let's do some boring stuff. Use your basic tank runes and tanky support masteries. Building Leona is difficult because there's no cookie cutter build for her. Take either Relic Shield, Ancient Coin, or Doran Shield. Each of these, of course, have specific advantages to them. Doran Shield, I think, is the most offensive of the three. It allows to be up close, taking a lot more hits from their ADC, which will help you lock them down better. Relic Shield is nice for helping your ADC get extra gold and still being tanky. Ancient Coin will help your income a lot and helps you stay in lane longer with the mana and health regeneration. A Sight Stone is still very important to get even with the ward changes. Extra health is always nice, and free wards are great. After that, grab your boots, either Ninja Tabby, Merc Treads, or Boots of Mobility. I tend to lean more toward getting treads for the CC reduction, but choose wisely every game. Boots of Mobility are also played a lot in Challenger tier. This is where it gets tough. I'll give you a list of good items to build, but the order and actual selected items will vary from game to game, as it should. The following items are viable: Randuin's Omen, Sunfire Cape, Mikhail's Crucible, Spirit Visage, Locket of the Iron Solari, and Thornmail. Some games you may need to get an item not on the list. It happens. Alright, now let's get back to the fun stuff. Skills. Don't forget about Sunlight. Leona's passive grants team members additional damage every time you land spell damage. This is great for those moments when you need just a little bit more. Shield of Daybreak, your Q, is a fun little stun. Early game, this stun can dominate, and late game, it doesn't really fall off. Sure, it deals damage, but it's that stun you want. Using Q will make your next attack stun and do extra damage, so be sure you attack with it. Eclipse on your W is useful for surviving and wave clearing. The AoE spell damage will proc your passive on all enemy champs and minions, and W will significantly increase your armor and magic resistance, enabling you to dive deeper and harder and still live. Zenith Blade is very skill intensive. You have to land it. If a bush isn't warded, go in and set up a gank. Use Zenith Blade followed by Shield of Daybreak to basically flash stun their ADC or support while your ADC moves in for the kill. The EWQ combo is devastating, but it all relies on actually landing the E, which takes practice. AoE stun if you hit, slow if you miss. Solar Flare can turn the tide of early ganks and late game teamfights. Enemies in the center are stunned and the rest are slowed. While they pile in for a teamfight, toss this out. When they're about to get away, stop them. When your ADC is about to die, save him. Use your ultimate freely. I'll tell you what the pros have been doing as far as leveling goes. At level 1, grab your Q, and level 2, grab your E, and right then you can start your EQ combo for killing their ADC and support. At 3, get your W and max it first. Max Q second because it reduces the cooldown, and max E last. Obviously, level your ultimate whenever you can. Be sure to keep those wards up. Use your trinket until you get a sight stone, then swap it out for a sweeping lens. Vision is key in any game, and it's mostly your responsibility to ward as you move. It can be dangerous to ward jungles and rivers alone, so try to take someone with you. After watching the pros play her, I learned a few helpful tips. Don't be afraid to tank with Leona. She can do it. Your EQ combo can land you in a lot of trouble though without a proper follow-up, and you may sacrifice yourself for your ADC quite a bit. Just be sure you stun until you die so he can actually get away. Be careful, if you are out of position and there's a jungler coming, or your ADC isn't watching, you could potentially feed very, very hard. Taunting with Leona is both fun and rewarding. A lot of players will get overconfident or expect you to leave when you are low health. Be sure to stick around as long as you can. With practice, you'll get better and better at judging your tank. With the added tank from your W, you can stay a lot longer than most other supports can. Try to hide when you are low so they think you left, but stay close enough to gank for your ADC. Basically, just believe in yourself and you can do it. Thanks for watching my Leona support tutorial. As you get better with Leona, try her in other lanes. She can jungle well, and I've had relatively good luck top with her. Best of luck, and see you in the Rift.